Superhero movie suit changes that still don't make sense. At number 6, we have the infamous Batman suit. In Batman and Robin, George Clooney dons the cowl in one of the most absurd versions of the Batsuit ever imagined. And the reason this suit stands out is because of its ridiculously large, exceptionally defined, and uniquely colored nipples. The costume sculptor, Jose Fernandez, has since spoken about his inspiration for the design being linked to Greek statues, but even this doesn't explain the extent of the nipple suit. For one, Greek statues don't make the nipples a focal point. They're just there, and it blends in with the larger design. Whereas Clooney's suit put the attention on this hard rubber protrusions that extend from the suit in the most baffling way. At number 5, we have the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four heroes originally appeared in 1961, and at that time, the costumes appeared to be blue and white jumpsuits with almost no detail. In some ways, this is very similar to what the MCU is now doing in the Fantastic Four First Steps, though there are some clear additions to make it work on screen. Now, 2005's Fantastic Four may have been trying to replicate the sense of a large jumpsuit, but the design ultimately felt deeply boring. Everyone is in the exact same outfit, and all of them are just 2 tones of blue. This manages to be even less charming than the classic comic design. It's just a shame that it wasn't expanded a little or made slightly more interesting. At number 4, we have Green Lantern. Now, for a very different approach, the 2011 Green Lantern movie cast Ryan Reynolds as the iconic Hal Jordan, but it appears to have forgotten to transform him into his superhero alter ego. What I mean by that is the fact that this movie opted to make every Green Lantern moment in full CGI. Obviously, creating a hero who can create anything at will and do incredible things that appear magical is a difficult task, and CGI certainly would give filmmakers more flexibility. But it resulted in most of the film feeling at best like a bad animation, and at worst, like an uncanny valley horror. Just including a practical suit for reference, or for moments where Hal isn't flying and actively using his powers could have made all the difference. Even if just for the mask, which could have made a huge difference. At number 3, we have The Punisher. In 1989, Dolph Lundgren was arguably at the height of his career as an action star. And when he landed the role of Frank Castle in The Punisher, it could have been a game changer for Marvel movies. And by all accounts, he did a pretty great job as the ultra-violent vigilante superhero. But the biggest issue in this movie is the distance it tried to create from its comic book origins. Instead of creating one of the simplest comic book costumes of all time, a black t-shirt with a white skull on it, Castle just wears all blacks throughout the movie. It's a huge disappointment considering the potential this movie could have had. At number 2, we have Suicide Squad's Joker. We have had some incredible performers tackle the role of Joker over the years, and, in all honesty, that's kind of a blessing and a curse. While this is an iconic character from the comics, actors want to leave their mark on a role. And when Jared Leto, who is a great actor in many situations, appears as the Joker in Suicide Squad, it's one of the more unique adaptations to ever appear on screen, to such an extent that it no longer feels like the Joker. The tattoos, the always shirtless look, the makeup, and the lack of distinct features that feel like the Joker from the comics led to this being a deeply controversial version of the character that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. At number 1, we have Catwoman. Halle Berry is an incredible actress who did an excellent job playing Storm in the Fox X-Men franchise. However, her role in another superhero project was not nearly as well received, and part of that may have been down to how poorly Catwoman adapted this iconic DC character. Clearly, the movie opted for sexy over substance, and they went with a suit made of straps and leather instead of any sort of practical protection and comfort it could offer. It felt incredibly disingenuous for the character, and it didn't work in the context of the story. That's all for today. We will see you next time.